On our discussion from yesterday of two-way tables. So yesterday we tackled two-way tables and relative frequencies. Today we're going to use the relative frequencies to determine if an association, whoopsies, sorry. To determine if an association exists. And we dealt with associations in our scatter plots. Positive association, negative association, no association. You can determine if data suggests that an association exists between categories in a two-way table by examining the row or column relative frequencies. And you have to read carefully because sometimes it does matter which one you do. Sometimes they're just going to tell you by row, by column. But otherwise it depends on how the words are stated. So here's a two-way table talking about people that are under 18 or 18 and older and whether they have TV or internet. So part A says find row relative frequencies. Calculate the row relative frequencies and round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So we're going to go by row. Help me out here. I'm going to take 20 divided by 90 and get okay, 0.22 you said? It has before. 0.22, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. 70 divided by 90 is 7/8. So then 85 over 115 is
0.74. I just heard two different answers. 560. I think it's 0.57. 0.57.
85 out of 115, Will?
No, 0.7. Oh, I did 150.
It's 0.74.
0.74, yes. And then 30 out of 115. 0.26. Okay, so it says determine if the data suggests an association between the categories and explain your reasoning. Find which relative frequency has the highest value. This is the term that you're going to say there is an association. The closer it is to 1, the more likely it's going to happen. So our highest decimal is 0.78. So it says a person chosen at random is most likely to have internet and is under 18. So you're looking to have the highest relative frequency. The higher the number, the more likely it is to happen. Okay? The two-way table shows a number of students that prefer a particular movie genre. Find the row relative frequencies. Then determine if the data suggests an association between the categories. So let's go by row here. Okay? I'm going to go across the 7th grade and across the 8th grade. I don't need my total row. I'm going to give you a second to calculate it before I ask you for an answer. Seventh grade comedy, 0.32. 7th grade drama, 0.60. 68, thank you. 8th grade comedy, 0.32. 8th grade drama, 0.68. Now, up above, they told us we're looking for an association by finding the relative frequency that's higher than all the others. Do we technically have a relative frequency that's higher than the others? No, they're all the same. So in this case, there is no association in this data. There is no association in this data. Yeah, we have 0.68, which is higher than 0.32, but both of them are the same. There's not one single space that's higher than the others. The two-way table shows whether or not someone owns a pet and the number of children in their family. Find the column relative frequency, then determine if the data suggests an association. You guys take a minute to do your relative frequency by column, and then we'll talk about the association. Oh no, now I have the hiccups. Two children or less and owns a pet.
0.85.
Two children or less and does not own a pet. More than two children owns a pet. 4.3. More than two children does not own a pet. 5.7. Okay. Does your data suggest an association here? Is there one relative frequency that's higher than the rest? What's your relative frequency that's higher than the rest? 0.85. And the labels on that are? Okay, so this is really talking about a family. So you would say a randomly chosen family will most likely have two children or less and own a pet. A randomly chosen family will most likely, because it's the highest, have two children or less and own a pet. Questions on writing that statement at all? All right. Martin surveyed 150 10th grade students to find out if they have a part-time job. There are 94 students who have a part-time job, including 37 that also play a sport. Half of the students who do not have a job play a sport. Do the data suggest that there is an association between having a job and playing a sport? First things first, we need to add another row to this. It's missing a row. So in this data, what two questions did Martin ask the people? Do you have a part-time job?
Do you play sports?
Do you play sports? Which one do you want to go across the top?
Part-time job.
Okay, so job or no job, and then our total. And down the left-hand side, sport or no sport, and a total. All right, let's put some numbers in today. What you got?
150 would be the total.
Very good. 150 is going to be your total. Surveyed 150 kids. 37 in the where? Top left. Okay.
Would be the total of jobs.
Very good. 94 students have a part-time job. We don't know anything else about them, so that 94 goes here. Now, this last statement made says half of the students who do not have a job. The problem is we don't know which ones don't have a job. Can I figure this number out?
Yeah.
How?
150 minus 94.
Very good. What is 150 minus 94? 56. Okay, so it says half of those kids play a sport. What's half of 56? 28. So how many don't play a sport? 28. All right, help me fill in the rest. 37 plus 28 is 65. 150 minus 65. 85. 85 minus 28, or, excuse me, you could go 94 minus 37, right? And you wind up with 57. Very good. So now it's also incorporating what we did yesterday. So it says, then we need to find the relative frequencies, but should we choose rows or columns? And this is where we have to go back to the sentence where they asked us the question. Association between having a job and playing a sport. Whatever they talk about first, that's going to determine whether we go rows or columns. For us, having a job is rows or columns. Columns. So in our case, we are going to calculate by column. So it says column because jobs came first. Whatever they talk about first will determine whether you go by columns or by rows. Okay, so we're going down the column. Job and sport. Three nine. Job and no sport. 0.61. I'll take total job. No job in sport. Don't even calculate this. Think. Yeah, half of them, and the other half, and there's your whole. Okay, so it again asks us, what is the association between having a job and playing a sport? Very good. Most people that have a job, because we want to talk about job first, most people that have a job do not play a sport. Most people that have a job do not play a sport. All right, last one. A group of 221-year-olds were surveyed about whether they live with their parents and if they attend college. There are 80 21-year-olds that live with their parents. There are 160 21-year-olds that attend college, and 96 do not live with their parents. Is there an association between attending college and living with parents for 21-year-olds? What do you think we're going to have to do here? We're going to build our own two-way table. Here's the deal. I made my first two-way table today really small. Don't do that. Just leave yourself like a little bit of space to make a sentence under there. But otherwise, the majority of this can be taken up by your... Wow, that's a terrible table. And that's not much better. 4 by 4. 4 rows, 4 columns. And then you can always scribble out the top left. Okay, what were the 2 questions they asked them? Do they live with their parents? And do they attend college? Which one do you want to go across the top? So college or no college, and then total. So then on the left-hand side would be parents or no parents, and your total. What we got for numbers? Will can't answer. Nolan.
Probably 200.
Very good. 200 people were surveyed.
$96 go to college.
96 go to college and parents. Good. Oh wait, not. I heard. That was on Hoff. College and not parents. My bad. Thank you for pointing my mistake out there. There are 80 21-year-olds that live with their parents.
80,000 total parents.
Total of parents. In that case, we don't know if they go to college or not. So then the last statement says 160 that attend college. Total college be 160. Good. Okay, so let's fill in the rest of our blanks. 200 minus 160 is 40. 160 minus 96, 64. 80 minus 64, 16. 40 minus 16 is 24. Good. Very good. And another way you could have checked that right is 96 plus 24 should give you 120. Okay, so they want to know, is there an association between attending college and living with your parents? Are we going to go by row or column on this? Say it again. Column. Yes, college for us is on a column. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Every other class today has put college on the left-hand side. You're going to get the same answer in the end. Your grid is just going to look different. Okay, so take a minute, find your relative frequencies there for college and no college. College and parents, 0.40.
Yeah.
College and no parents. No college and parents. And no college, no parents. So, is there an association?
No.
There is no association. Between going to college and living with parents. All about those relative frequencies today. Make sure you answer the association question if they ask. I think there's 9 questions on that worksheet for Monday. Monday will be an online review. Tuesday will be a paper review. Wednesday will be your chapter 9. I think it says test on it, but it's really going to go in as a quiz out of 50 points. Okay.